Go ahead.
You're listening to Calculated Drivel.
And action. Welcome back to Calculated Drivel, the live sofa sessions.
Is that what we're calling it?
We'll call it that for now, but we can. I think the name will come out in the wash as we progress.
It used to be the isolation session.
Yeah.
I reckon we should do like a full reset in case there's someone who's listening for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Who are we? What is this?
What is this? So, welcome to Calculated Drivel. It's a show. It's not a podcast. Where Matt and I tackle all sorts of topics that need tackling. We've got features such as Chicken Chat, which is a staple feature for us that we sort of discuss anything chicken related. And then we also have current affairs. We have sometimes it's topical based on, is it close to Halloween? Are we close to Christmas? So we'll sort of play off any seasonal stuff going on. But yeah, what about for you, Matt? What would you say the show is about?
Well, so it originally started as a radio show at uni, and during lockdown, to keep us sane, we rebooted. Almost maybe like 8 years later, 10 years now.
Yeah.
Rebooted the radio show over lockdown. Yeah, we called it the isolation sessions, and we just chat whatever was happening. Which during lockdown wasn't a lot.
No.
So
we really had to mine for content sometimes, didn't we?
Yeah. But now, this is the first ever
live.
I can see you.
Yeah.
There's no delay.
In the what's the phrase? In the flesh. In the flesh. I was gonna say in the fresh then for some reason, but
And in the fresh.
And in the fresh, and we're also joined today by two lovely pizzas that we picked up to fuel us through the show.
And you can actually, hopefully by the time you're listening to this, you'll be able to hear that we recorded that live on roaming microphones walking the streets of Highgate.
Yeah.
It's a bonus episode, so hopefully, if you're interested in how we came to find these pizzas, then
we'll leave a link in the description of where we bought the pizzas from if anyone listening is curious.
Is this good audio, eating pizzas and talking at the same time?
We'll find out.
It's like ASMR. People get into that, don't they?
What, watching other people eat?
It's like the noises of people chewing. Really.
Lots of people get off to that, do they?
I think so.
Swear. Well, you had that old concept with Hawk Voyeur, but we won't go into that. That's a whole separate show. Yeah.
And it's just the question that I'm going to pose to you.
Yeah.
How many horsepower is a horse?
I was thinking that was what the question was going to be. How many horsepower is a horse? Because obviously you get different speeds of horses. Hence why people put bets on at races. If horsepower was like a single figure that all horses had the same top speed.
But is it about speed?
Yeah. How are they measuring horsepower? Like before they used the term horsepower, do you think someone was like, they had a car or something, and they're like, how can I describe how fast this car is?
Or yeah, is it not just like how much it can like pull?
Oh, in terms of
because if it was like, I've got this trailer and it used to be carried by 3 horses.
Yeah.
And now we need a car that's as strong as those 3 horses.
Yeah.
It would be 3 horsepower.
3 horsepower.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. How many horsepower do you think a horse is?
I want to say 1 horsepower.
No, 15.
15.
Up to 15.
So it's not actually horsepower, it's a 15th of a horsepower.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I always find it funny when people get a new car and they my friend Pete got a new car recently and they kind of tell you, obviously when someone tells you they've got a new car, you have to ask questions like, oh, is it quick? That's normally a good go-to. Like
does it do 0 to 60?
Yeah, what does it get up to 60? Well, yeah, does it? I think the question is, how quickly does it do 0 to 60?
Oh yeah, well, you're just assuming that it can go to 60.
Yeah, I normally would assume that. But yeah, the horsepower is a good question to ask if someone's got a new car.
Did you ask that?
No, I forgot to. But in hindsight, I should have asked him.
Keep that in your back pocket.
But yeah, anyone listening, let us know how many horsepower your car is, or
How many horsepower are you?
Yeah.
Actually, do you have that as a follow-up? How many horsepower is the average human?
Depends on the day. Like today, I'm quite low on horsepower because of drinking last night, till all hours. But I'd probably say on a good day, I'm probably about. I can't say I'm about 2 horsepower on a good day.
Interesting.
Yeah. You?
On a good day, probably half. And I should say I'm basing that on this statistic which says most humans are just more than 1. So yeah, there you go.
So horsepower, that's how we start the show off. We've also got, I think we're going to move on to, do you have something else to ask me, or should we do like a back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think we'll start with the why are HR staff so fucking smug? Because they are quite smug.
Is this something you've noticed?
It's something I've noticed, yeah. Because the fact that the title HR is a bit odd in itself. Human resources. Because it kind of puts people at work in that as their title, almost like they're above humans because they're sorting resources out for humans, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
But they're human in themselves,
Are
so
they human?
and how do they know what resources are going to make, what keeps me ticking, sort of thing. But yeah, human resources, I've just noticed this in general, they don't necessarily, there's not much content to what they do. It's hard to sort of say, oh, like on a day 9 to 5 in a job, what would you expect someone who works in human resources to do on an average day?
That's a good question. It's like, I don't know, what is it? Is it just like making sure everyone's happy?
I think that's what it's meant to be.
Hiring people?
Yeah. Because like...
What, I feel like this all stems back to one thing. Were you crossed by a HR person?
A little bit. I mean, it was quite... There's something... I wouldn't mention any names, but person who's kind of in charge of the human resources at my job, they were going to be off on the Friday or something. They booked annual leave, but they sent a message to everyone in the job saying, "I'm off tomorrow, just to let you know. Be kind to each other." Right. They said, which I thought was quite a weird thing. Like we're all going to have a brawl if she's not there or something. People are going to get tackled into the printers and the scanners and like.
Should have just replied saying,
I can't promise anything. So yeah, let us know what you think. What is human resources as a role, and what is it?
What a question for the listener. What is human resources?
Yeah,
let us know.
Let us know, because I'm still trying to get my head around it. The next topic.
Should we just talk?
Yeah, you go for it, Matt.
Right. So this is relevant to. So if you hadn't listened to the bonus episode, Mark was in London last night watching England play rugby at Twickenham. And this reminded me of the story, like the old story you get told about how rugby was invented.
Right.
It's like the guys playing football and this one guy picked up the ball and ran with it.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened and you were playing football.
You would get sort of... You'd get
so
separated from the
annoyed.
group, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
like people would ostracise you, I'd assume.
He was like, you can't
do that.
we're not going to let you play with us anymore if you keep doing
Yeah,
that.
it's like inviting someone to play tennis with you and they kind of just run around with the ball in the hand.
Start smashing it really far out the court.
Yeah.
Like, it's a new sport.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, I booked this
I'm
court.
trying to play
I want to play tennis. I've had a really boring week and I was looking forward to having a rally and not having you just hit the ball as far as you can out of the tennis court.
I think it's mad like that. It's like such a romantic story about how he picked it up and ran with it, and it was like in the story it's like, oh, and everyone cheered. In reality, it'd be like, put the like, you got a red card for a start.
Well, you can see how tackling was added to it, can't you?
Yeah, maybe people just started tackling him to the ground, and that's how it started.
And then when he got home that day, sort of lying in bed thinking, he suddenly had like a eureka moment of like, that's it, that's rugby. But then I guess they wouldn't invite him back again if they did want to play football, because he might just make a habit of like picking the ball up.
And like the kind of audacity you have to do that, I think you're not going to be a very sociable.
No,
guy.
no. It is funny that we tend to in England we invent sports, but we never end up being the best at them. Do you know what I mean? Like we invented rugby in a town called Rugby, and then a country which could not be further away if it tried. New Zealand are the best at it, but we invented it.
Maybe we should make a new one, but don't tell anyone else about it.
What? So then no one can be better than us at it because we're the only ones who know about it.
But still arrange matches and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe give them the rules on like the night before.
Yeah, give them the rules really last minute, and you're already prepared. And they have no time. Yeah, and it was good to go see the game, England-Tonga. It was a bit of it was more of a drinking session than watching sport, but I guess that's quite often the case with sporting events.
What was your highlight?
Ooh, they were playing that. I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with that song, no, not Roxanne, but what's the song called? Sweet Caroline. It's not a great song. I mean, do you like to sing along to Sweet Caroline when you hear it?
Absolutely hate that.
The next one I'm going to ask Matt about is why are most town mayors portly? Because they often are. When you think of a mayor, do you imagine being quite like a portly? Is it like people trust someone who's a little bit plump, a little bit portly? What do you reckon?
Do you think they are always a bit chubby when they get the job, or it's like
they're encouraged to put weight on once they get the job?
Just like all the dinners that they get invited to, and
yeah,
like that kind of stuff. What do you think? Like the amount of gold chains they wear around their neck, that would like
be like a workout in itself. Yeah. But
maybe they got really strong necks. But
so yeah, anyone listening, let us know, why are mayors portly, and when you think of a mayor, do you picture someone who's quite portly?
Can you remember the mayor of your town where you grew up?
I remember there was this guy. Is a mayor the same as a town crier? No.
I don't think a town crier is a thing.
Not anymore.
Did your town have a town crier?
There was this guy who used to come to our school when it was getting close to the October half term, because we had 2 weeks off at half term at school rather than just one. And he'd come to the school with like a bell and ring the bell and say, "I'm going to be giving you an extra week's holiday," even though it was already scheduled into the calendar year. But that he'd do that every year, come and tell us we were going to have 2 weeks off.
Was he dressed up?
He was dressed up.
As
like
what?
I think he was either a town crier or a mayor. I never knew which one he was.
What does that look like?
Like a bit of a robe, and he had a bell that he would ring, and he'd say things like "Hear ye, hear ye."
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a town crier.
Yeah, sounds like a town.
What? Like, and was he? Did the school ask for this, or was he doing it off his own back?
I don't know. Actually.
I want to know what his contract was.
Yeah, and how much he was getting paid for it.
That's so mad. Do you think if he didn't do that, then you'd have to come back?
I think we'd
a
just
week earlier.
I think we'd still get 2 weeks off because it was already scheduled out. But that's a little bit about town criers and mayors and why they always tend to be portly.
Text us in.
Yeah, text us in.
Got any mayor anecdotes?
You want to jump onto the next bit, Matt, or shall I?
Yeah, I got.
What have you got?
Are you ready for your challenge yet, or do you want to work up to that?
Let's jump into it.
Right. Okay. So this is called. It's a trial feature, beta version.
Yep.
It's called Confident Marc.
Okay.
And yeah, as I said before, it doesn't matter if you know the answer or if you don't. You just got to answer it as confidently as possible.
Okay.
And you got to convince me that that's the right thing.
Yeah.
Some of them are very simple, but I'm hoping that under the pressure you might stumble a bit. Okay.
You're hoping I stumble?
Yeah.
Right.
And you can give short answers, long answers. I think long answers would probably be better, but
yeah.
I'll leave it to you. Okay. Are you ready?
Definitely.
Where does the wind come from?
The sky.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
Yeah, the wind's just air particles that get moved around at different speeds. Some areas of the world have what is known as a prevailing wind, which is like I guess the average direction that wind comes from.
But where does it come from?
Oh, it just comes from the sky.
Yeah. Who's the leader of the Lib Dems?
Nick Clegg.
Yeah.
I think it's Nick Clegg. Is he still the leader?
No. I think
He led for a bit though,
yeah,
didn't he?
maybe like 8-10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. I obviously follow the Lib Dems very closely.
Maybe even longer ago than that. How was golf invented?
I want to say in a similar way to the way rugby was invented. They were playing another sport and then someone, but I can't really... golf was invented by businessmen, I would guess, because businessmen play a lot of golf, so I guess they invented it. So if you are thinking of setting up your own business, I'd encourage you to start playing golf. It might make your business more successful, just because, I mean, when you think golf, do you think businessman?
Nah, but I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. But I think I know it was invented by a couple of chaps out in Portugal many years ago. They
On business?
they were on a business trip and they needed something to do. And there was quite a nice grassy, hilly area outside the back of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought, this could be good for something. And I think one of them had bought like a ball that they had just from home. It might have even been like an old pool table ball.
Yeah.
They just had it with them for security reasons in a sock in case anything happened. So it was more of a security thing. But then I think he threw the ball out on the grass outside the back, and then I think the other guy had like a stick or something that had like what looked like almost like a 7-iron golf club.
What? Just off a tree?
Yeah, he just found it on just in the sort of by the tree, and he then decided to sort of hit the ball with it, and there was like a little, not a perfect golf hole, but like a little hole. I think the gardener was looking to patch it up. They hadn't done it yet. The ball went in, and then they thought, hang on a second, and then they got the ball back out of the hole and decided to see how many shots it would take to get it in.
Yeah.
So that's how it all happened.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Why is it called golf? Was it when it went in the hole? Did they just shout golf?
Yeah, that was
Golf!
it. Yeah, he just shouted. I think it just came to him.
Yeah. That's just like when you overcome.
Yeah. That's how golf was invented.
Oh, great. Where did Everton play?
In a football stadium.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do they make Marmite?
I think they get peanut butter and let it go off.
Just leave it out.
Leave it out in the sun for a couple of years, and then
just a couple of years.
A couple of years, and then that's how Marmite is made.
Cool. Name a woman.
Angelina Jolie.
Nice. Good choice. Who's your celebrity crush?
Angelina Jolie.
That's it. Well done. Very
That was good.
informative.
Yeah. And hopefully quite confident as well.
We've all learned a lot. Good stuff.
What we will say is, please do not fact check any of that stuff after the show, because there may be some. I mean, the golf one, that one's spot on, but the Austria one, I'm a bit ashamed that I don't think I got that one right.
But also, don't believe everything you see online.
No, don't trust what you see online. Trust us. Actually, actually, do trust everything we say.
No, trust everything you hear online.
Yeah.
But not everything you read.
Yeah. So that was quite fun actually. We'll have to do I'll have to prepare a confident Matt segment for the next show.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to give you a few topics, Matt, to pick from to have a little we can discuss. So the first one is: did people who work in recruiting aspire to work in recruiting when they were little kids? So that's one topic.
Yeah.
Another topic is: why have people never raced cows? People race horses and stuff. Why have people never raced cows? And which out of those two would you like to delve into?
I have quite a lot of opinions about recruiting.
Right.
And the only person that I remember, so I used to live with this girl who, she used to work in like the wine industry. As like a wine buyer or something. And she was looking for a new job, and she was doing that through a recruitment consultant. And whilst on the phone to the recruiter, who she was hoping would find her a new job in the wine industry, they were just like, oh, do you want to just work for us?
Right.
And yeah, that eventually became a recruitment consultant. I just found that whole thing so sad. You got a bit of cheese on your face.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the thing about doing video ones. Pizza probably wasn't the best thing to add to the first one, but knowing when to eat it and when not to.
So yeah, I thought that was quite sad. So she definitely hadn't dreamt of that as a child.
No.
I don't know. I mean, each to their own, but it's a bit of a.
It's a weird one. My job is helping you get a job.
Yeah, it's a very
Right.
middleman-y job.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine.
You imagine if when they're like, because the way I see it, it's like you have like a kid, a 5-year-old kid, and you know how you can tell sometimes, oh, he was always destined to be a fireman because he used to dress up as a fireman when he was 5 or something. But if a kid becomes a recruiter when they're older, I imagine them in the house helping their little brother or sister do a chore or get a job or something, which would be quite a funny thing for a kid to do. Like, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, being the middleman.
Yeah.
It's always free. It's checking.
That's still recording.
Good.
So yeah, that one. Let us know what you think. Are there any recruiters listening?
I'm sure there are. I feel like everyone's a recruiter these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have to recruit for anything in particular,
What would you recruit for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know.
I was actually asking you.
Oh, you're asking me. I would recruit people to get jobs at an ice cream parlour. That's what I think I'd help recruit people for.
Would you do all those like classic underhand tactics that recruiters are kind of famous for?
What are they famous for? What sort of stuff? Do you know them
it's
for
like
doing?
sending it. They'll send someone to an interview who they know won't get the job.
Yeah.
And use them as a way of getting information to give to the other people who they think are better.
Really? Or they'll send them in as like a dummy almost.
Suicide
Yes.
mission.
That's someone's life though.
Dodgy stuff. Yeah, I think there's like a dark side to it. But if you're a recruiter and you are morally bankrupt, let us know. Come on the show.
Come on the show and tell us some of your
Teach us a thing
the dark arts of recruiting.
Yeah, that'd be fun. What would you do if your phone starts ringing and you look at it and it's coming? You can see the number, who's calling.
See the name. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not someone typed on your phone. It's just 999.
They're calling me.
They're calling you.
Right.
What would you think? Would you answer it?
If I saw 999 was calling me, depending on like what I'm up to at that point, if I'm not busy, I'm just at home, I'm thinking, do I have to go out and do police work?
Oh, you think
they want me to go to a place and do police work or something like that,
Yeah.
or get hold of an ambulance and take it somewhere. So if I wasn't busy,
but you would answer.
I'd answer it. Yeah, just find out what they were after. You? What do you? I mean, what?
It depends.
It's a
on
weird
the
one. It's a bit of a
situation.
head.
If I was in bed,
Probably,
and
yeah.
I was just like, I just
Yeah.
turn my
If
face.
you're having a lie-in at the weekend and you've had a really long week, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, 999, hello. You
There's
know?
no way that whatever is on the other end is going to be some kind of something that you can just delay or. I feel
No.
like, I wonder what it would be though.
Yeah, that's it. Let us know, listeners, what you think about that. If you had a phone, your phone went off and it said 999 was trying to call you, would you answer it or not? And give us your reasons why. I've got a few other bits here to talk about. So, the topic of the Queen being irritated about inaction on climate change. What are your thoughts on that? I think there's quite a lot of irony going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that firstly we need to address your. I feel like you've got some beef with the Queen.
Some beef for the Queen.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah, because I feel like she's got a lot of power, but she doesn't really use it to like do much.
What do you think she should be doing?
Coming up with some new sort of recycling systems in the UK to improve that. She could definitely do some of that.
She needs to. I think she should do more like outreach stuff. come on the podcast.
Yeah, well, if the Queen is listening, come on the show, and
Come on the show. You could be able to come in.
she can do it on Zoom if she
Yeah, do it
wants.
on
We do it on Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, if you're one of those people. Yeah, I just don't really see much of her.
No.
I wonder if we get on. She seems alright.
Yeah, sort of. You know, she does that speech once a year at Christmas that a lot of people like to watch. The Queen's speech.
Maybe she could do that on this show.
Yeah, she could do. As in the one that she does every year, she could just do it through us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could speak to her about that.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. She's probably a big polluter, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because when I saw that, I then searched the Royals electricity, or the Royals carbon footprint. I was curious to find out what it was, and like the tons of CO2 just from like keeping Buckingham Palace heated and stuff is like a massive footprint in itself.
Can you even go around? Can you even like look around it? I feel like she could move to like a really nice house and then turn that into a tourist attraction or something, because it seems like a bit of a waste of space.
Yeah, it's a lot of rooms for.
Like, is it just her and
just her? Yeah,
just running around,
roaming around these. Or maybe we could do one of the roaming ones at Buckingham Palace inside.
If anyone from Buckingham Palace can sort that out for us, yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, we could give that a try.
I'm sure we'd open a door and there'd be someone, Prince Andrew, in there. We can ask him a few questions about.
Well, yeah, I've got a few questions for Prince Andrew. That's
you
for
got
sure.
You got 2 questions to ask him. What are you asking?
First one is, do you have your 5 a day? That would be my first question. And second of all, it would be, why don't you admit to these allegations that happened in the past? Because we all know you did something.
I thought you were going to do. Or you got 3 questions, exclusive interview with Prince Andrew, and you ask him just like, how often do you reckon you get your 5 a day?
Yeah.
What's your average daily steps?
Right.
And have you seen the new series of Succession?
Those would be your 3 questions for him. Yeah. Yeah, the 5 a day one, don't know where that came from, but I'm just curious. Because do you get your 5 a day? I don't get 5 a day.
Really?
Is it because on a bottle of juice or something, it always says something like 1 of your 5 a day.
Yeah.
So if you just had 5 bottles of juice, does that mean you're covered? Or does it have to vary?
I think it's better to mix it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I reckon I'm getting 5 a
Yeah,
day.
you get 5 a day.
Apparently that's quite arbitrary though. I think in like Japan it's like 8.
8 a
They
day.
just recommend different things in different countries.
Yeah.
But yeah, text us.
Text us, let us know if
How
you
many
get your
days
5
you
a day.
Yeah.
How often do you get your 5 a day? And if you miss a few days, do you then try and like cover the few days you didn't have anything by having like 20 in a day or something like that?
Yeah.
Let us know. The next one, I think this is quite a good question for Matt. If you had to accompany a roast dinner with an isotonic sports drink to wash it down, which isotonic sports drink would you opt for and why?
What are the options? Apart from Lucozade?
Well, there's Lucozade, there's Powerade, there's Gatorade, I guess. And what roast dinner would it be with?
I'm a big fan of a Lucozade orange on a hangover.
Yeah.
Actually, the red one's alright as well.
The raspberry one is good.
Yeah.
I like the raspberry one.
But I'd probably go for... Actually, yeah, maybe I'd go for the raspberry one with like a roast because it's more closer to red wine.
Would you drink it in a wine glass, or do you just have the Lucozade?
No,
you're not an animal.
You
do
want to
it
decant it into like a decanter and then pour it. Just have it on the table. I wonder if you could get away with if you like said it was some kind of natural like orange wine.
Yeah.
It's like some new thing.
Yeah.
High residual sugar levels. That's why it's quite sweet.
Well, I guess it keeps you energized throughout the roast.
Yeah.
Right. You can finish it and you're full of energy.
I mean, in this scenario, I imagine I'll be really hungover.
But you'd be making a roast dinner. It's not the sort
of thing. Am I making it? I quite like someone else.
Someone else can make it, yeah.
And I think it'd go best with chicken.
Chicken.
The orange one, at least.
The orange
Maybe
one.
The red
Raspberry
one.
would be quite good. Raspberry, But yeah, you let
raspberry with beef. Orange
raspberry with
chicken.
beef, orange with roast chicken. Yeah.
Is it even raspberry? Is it even raspberry and orange? Or is it just orange colour and red colour?
Yeah, orange. It's funny how orange is a fruit but also a colour.
Yeah.
But no other colours are also a fruit.
What do you think came first?
The fruit, surely. And someone.
And someone's like, this colour is the same as the orange fruit.
Yeah. We might as well call it orange. Let us know if you know the history of...
Did you name the colour orange or the fruit?
Let
us know.
Yeah. And which isotonic sports drink would you opt for?
What would you opt for? If it's not Lucozade.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a bit of a go-to, isn't it, Lucozade? It would be Lucozade.
Monster.
Yeah, kind of Monster with a pork belly or something.
That would be like a replacement for sparkling wine or champagne or something.
Yeah, a bit green liquid.
God,
yeah, I'd probably go for a Lucozade raspberry and roast duck, actually.
Oh, lovely. That sounds good.
Because
I'll have that for dinner tonight.
well, orange would be better actually if it was roast duck because they have duck à l'orange or something, don't they?
That's true.
Lovely.
Was there a kid? I feel like there was a kid like this at every school, but there was a guy at my school who had a pint can of Monster every morning.
In the morning, first thing.
Like in registration, he'd be like, "Can you
What are his
imagine?"
parents doing?
I don't know.
You can't.
So disgusting.
I've seen builders do that a lot. They kind of, it'd be like 7 a.m. and I walk past this building site on their way to work and they'll be necking like a can of Monster.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe if you're doing manual labour, maybe it does give you a bit of an energy boost. But
Becky was saying that like the builders she works with on a Friday, they all get wasted at lunchtime.
do they?
Then back on the building site.
And then they come back to the site.
I feel like they must go home early on a Friday or something. But yeah, apparently
You'd hope
like,
so, wouldn't
in
you?
the canteen, there's like a canteen at the site, and yeah, you can get beers now, just like
Getting hammered.
Beers.
Yeah.
Just mad when you're like working with power tools. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and at height as well.
Yeah.
You can see why the construction industry has like the most deaths. When you've
Yeah.
got builders getting hammered at lunch.
Yeah, mad. How are you feeling about the live record?
It's interesting actually because like the last time we've done one like this was like in the setting of Newcastle Student Radio.
Yeah.
This is a bit more laid back, which is quite nice.
I think it's hard to. This sofa's really difficult to sit on.
It is difficult to sit
Very
on.
long.
Yeah, because I was thinking I don't want to be so loungy that I don't look professional. Because
Yeah,
if someone were to interview you and the person interviewing you was like this,
I quite like that.
do you like
Jacob
that?
Rees-Mogg style.
Yeah.
Melt.
But if you were getting interviewed, do you think if you were the boss and you were hiring someone and the new candidate was sitting the way I'm sitting now, would you take them less seriously?
Yes. Obviously.
But they're really smartly dressed.
I
though.
think it would really put me off. I think this guy must be so arrogant.
Yeah.
And like, he must be a nightmare to work.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially when first impressions are kind of like a big part of job interviews / they are the whole thing.
yeah. But yeah, so like we've got the lava lamp on.
We got the lava lamp.
We've got the on air side, just so you know we're on air. We did actually plan on going to a charity shop and looking for some more things on the bonus podcast, but I just forgot.
Yeah.
We got a coffee and then
Yeah.
got kind of distracted looking for a
Toothbrush journey.
Priorities, I guess. But maybe in Brighton we can go have a look around some shops. Go to
Yeah.
Greg's or something.
We go to Greg's, bring back Greg's with Regs, which I'm sure you'll be.
Yeah.
Does it feel like a lot of pressure knowing that feature's gonna come back,
No,
or
it's
are you
not.
excited for it?
It's I guess it's like. So for those who don't know, Greg's with Regs is a feature we used to have on Newcastle Student Radio where I guess was it just me saying what I'd got from Greg's or if I'd been to Greg's?
Yeah, I'd do a big build-up song where I'd say Greg's with Regs,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Regs, with Regs, Greg's with Regs. And by the way, Matt's surname is Regglesworth, so that's where the Regs comes from. In
Yeah.
case anyone was like, "Why are you calling
That's good.
Matt
clarity.
Regs?" And yeah, I would then ask him what he got from Greg's
Sometimes
that
I
week.
haven't even been.
Sometimes you had been, and you had
Yeah.
to think on the spot and pretend you'd been.
Oh no, I'm not a liar. I feel like I was quite upfront about not going.
Oh, you never lied about it. Huh?
Anyway, how do I feel about it now? I feel like a seasoned professional, like a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United. I
Yeah.
don't think he's nervous. He knows he's good at it. just going out,
backs himself,
enjoying himself. So
Yeah.
that's very much how I feel. Like I just got.
Do you become a bit bullish when you're in Greg's? Are you quite confident
Oh, yeah,
when you're
like-
in there, and people around you will feel almost a bit
Yeah,
unsettled
yeah.
of how comfortable you are in the Greg's environment?
Yeah, I'll never queue.
No.
I'll walk straight up
Walk
to the
straight
front.
to the front.
And like sometimes if someone's in the middle of ordering, I'll have to kind of like physically push them to one side.
Or do you not like it when other people are ordering when
Well,
you get in
because
there?
I've got to order.
Yeah, and you've got to order right away,
Yeah.
don't you?
Actually, there's been a few times when someone's just getting their order and I'll just take it. And
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
And no one's complained about that. I
Do
think
you
it's
do you
okay.
ever do you have like a favourite Greg's? Is there one in particular that you kind of would like to revisit that you've not been there for a while?
It's a really good question, and there's nothing. Newcastle is quite a special place in terms of Greg's.
Just the sheer number of them.
The
really.
sheer number and size. I feel like they're the biggest in the country. Where you could, it was like the first one you could actually dine in at.
Yeah.
And these were the
Would you
times-
dine in?
Yeah.
Oh right, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I feel like you can eat in at most of them now, but this was like years back.
Not many people were doing it at that
No.
point, were they?
So yeah, just like they were so common. We're in London, where we are now. You're lucky. You've got to basically be lucky or heavily divert your day.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've taken like I've walked a different way.
Yeah.
On the way to somewhere, maybe adding half an hour to my journey just so I can walk past the Greg's and go in.
And yeah, you just like the feeling of walking past one.
Yeah, yeah.
My younger brother Chris, he worked at Greg's for a bit.
Really?
He worked
we
at-
should get him on the show.
Yeah, we will. I just don't know what I thought that he worked at Greg's and he got the stash. He had like the Greg's hat and the apron and
He's
stuff.
Still got it.
Yeah, he still got it. He said he
No
cooks.
way.
He puts the Greg's hat on when he's in his kitchen. Cooks, makes him feel
I
like he's
love a
back
Greg's
in the
hat.
bakery. But he only worked there for 1 week because then he found out that a slot opened up on this to do a ski season, so he just fucked off.
1 week. Did he get paid?
Yeah, he got paid. Yeah,
That's
but
mad.
they weren't happy when he told them because he basically told them when he was at the airport.
Yeah.
But I think it was quite an easy decision for him though to go to the
We
mountains.
should get him on again, like to give us a description of what it was like, the interview process.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it was all like a 2-phase interview, trial
Yeah.
shifts.
Yeah, a couple of trial shifts. How good
Recruitment
are you with
agency?
sausage roll? No, not through a recruitment agency. Greg's kind of pride themselves on they like to. They did use a recruitment agency for a period of time, but the staff they got from it, they were not best pleased with them. Let me put it that way.
I actually saw a job advert the other day for a store designer for Greg's,
Oh right, okay.
which obviously like
There's not much
related-
scope for variation, is there?
Wow.
Really?
Maybe they just need some better designers. But obviously, like, it felt like it fit quite nicely into our remit of our like professional skills.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider that as a career change path?
What, to only design Greg's?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely do that. Yeah, it wouldn't get boring, monotonous, or depressing at all.
You could add some high concepts to them. Make
Yeah.
it into like an immersive experience.
Immersive sausage roll experience.
Yeah. All senses touch the roll.
And also encourage more dining in. Maybe if the design's better, more people will take a leaf out of your book. And
Waiters.
waiters, yeah,
Like,
that's a good way of-
where you could do like a tasting menu. Where
Yeah.
you like a miniature version of everything. That'd be
Yeah.
cute.
I also think they could maybe like host events there and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a DJ
People
night.
could, DJs. People could book the whole venue out for like a
Corporate
wedding
stuff.
after party, or even they
Get
could
married there.
get married in there. Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
good.
So let us know what your thoughts are on Greg's. Would you get married in a Greg's? If so, why would you? What about it attracts you? And if not, why not?
Yeah.
What should I have for Matt? Well, there's a couple of questions here. The first one I mentioned at the start, and that is to do with sweets. We all know gummy bears, right?
Yeah.
And we never question gummy bears. Yeah, gummy bears, of course. But were gummy wolves ever considered prior to them settling on bears? And why do you think they settled on bears? Do you think they thought of any other apex predators?
Why? Right, you're saying wolves because bears are quite aggressive.
And wolves kind of similar, yeah.
Interesting. What are the other apex predators?
Sharks.
Gummy shark. I feel like
There are gummy sharks, yeah, but there's no gummy wolves.
yeah, and there's like also gummy crocodiles in Haribo sometimes.
Yeah,
There's
gummy
like,
crocodiles,
I don't know, maybe
gummy tigers.
now that you're saying it, I'm sure they did. Maybe it doesn't really roll off the tongue. Gummy bears, like kind of nice.
Yeah, you can say it, but
Gummy wolves, mouthful.
But is that just because you're used to gummy bears and your muscle memory or whatever is more built to say bears? But you
The
reckon?
bear from Haribo. Oh no, isn't it because the logo of Haribo is a bear?
It might be actually. Yeah.
Or did that come from the gummy bears? Could be the logo. Could have been a wolf.
It could have been,
Went down
yeah.
the path.
But yeah, let us know, listeners, what your thoughts are on that. Whether gummy wolves, maybe that could be our new sponsor. Maybe if we ever
Gummy
Gummy
a
wolves.
non-existent company.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not like
Not
any
like
of our sponsors are existing in reality.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've got something that might interest you.
Go for it.
So you might remember, if you listen to the bonus podcast, we talked about how Mark was thinking about axing our longest running feature, Chicken Chat.
I called you up about it. I was furious.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
Absolutely livid.
It's like a weird combination of anger and embarrassment.
Yeah. How did that conversation go down? I called you, didn't
Yeah.
I? It was a weird time of day. I think I called you about 3 a.m. or something.
I think it must have been something. You think you had a bad day or something?
Yeah.
I don't think it was all. I think you're taking it out on Chicken Chat.
Yeah.
But something else was going on under the surface.
Yeah.
Anyway, during the bonus podcast, we kind of ended up talking about KFC and Alan's fried chicken, just organically. It kind of came to the conclusion that it'll never die as a feature, no matter how much we wanted to.
Yeah.
But before that conversation happened, I was kind of doing a bit of brainstorming, thinking, well, if Mark doesn't want to do Chicken Chat, we're going to have to do something else. I was thinking of other birds that'll be interesting. We've tried turkey talk before.
We talked about puffins before. We did a little bit.
But does that have the legs to be a long-standing feature?
There's only one way to find out, isn't there?
Well,
Use it as a feature for about 10 years.
that led me on to an article about New Zealand Bird of the Year.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about this.
No, I
So
can't
in
say
New
I have.
Zealand they have a contest every year to find
Yeah.
out best bird basically. And it's very controversial this year because I don't know if you want to have a guess at which bird won. Think about New Zealand's quite famous for kind of kiwis.
Yeah, well, kiwis. You call people from New Zealand a kiwi.
Yeah.
And that's the bird. What type of bird is New Zealand?
Bird of the Year 2021.
What one bird of the year? Is this just like the species one or a particular individual bird?
It's a speech, not like it's not like Dave the bird.
Dave the bird. That could be quite a good feature. Don't know what it would be about, but yeah, Dave the
I
bird.
like it though. Yeah, maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah, we'll work on that one behind the
Yeah.
scenes. I would probably say a kestrel one.
Kestrel.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't gonna get it because, as I said, it was controversial. I'll read this headline out to you: New Zealand Bird of the Year, controversial as it was won by a bat.
Right. Which actually is a good segue into a question I've got about bats.
Oh, right, okay.
Since we're on the topic of bats, I had this lined up. I said, are German Shepherds and bats related? Because if you look at a German Shepherd, the dog, or
Yeah.
Alsatian, and if you look at like a bat's head, they are very similar. Do a
I mean,
Google
they're
of
both
that.
mammals,
Both mammals.
so they're probably more closely related than a bird and a bat.
Yeah.
I was reading, when I got onto the whole bat thing, I was reading some bat facts, which I was going to reel off to you.
That could be a new feature.
Well, this is what I was
Bat
saying.
facts.
Bat. I feel like I have to alliterate. Bat banter.
Bat banter, yeah.
That'll do. I actually wrote these down here. I'm talking about things being related. So apparently humans are more related to bats than mice.
I thought you were just going to say, apparently humans are more related to bats than we realise. And that's just...
And that.
Yeah.
Guess how long a bat lives?
60 years.
30.
30.
Oh, that's quite long.
It is quite long, actually.
Yeah. Bat droppings can be used to make gunpowder.
Okay.
Good one, that.
Yeah.
And finally, bats pollinate mango trees and the plant which you use to make tequila.
Really?
So there'll be no tequila without bats.
Ah, interesting.
There you go.
So every time you have a shot of tequila, somewhere in the world a bat has helped that
I thought you were
manifest.
going to say a bat die. But that's how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, going full circle. A bat winning Bird of the Year. Do you not think that is like it's the same as Miss Universe being won by like
A bloke.
no, not even that, like a salmon.
Yeah. Would they have the thing?
Yeah, how would you put a sash on a salmon?
Yeah.
Text in.
Yeah. How would you if a fish won an award in general, but in particular Miss Universe, Miss Universe, how would you put the sash on them?
If anyone wants to,
Because they've got no shoulders.
Yeah, it's all neck.
Yeah.
They're just a big neck.
You could just wrap the sash around
they
them, I
would
guess.
fall off, wouldn't it?
And it wouldn't look very sophisticated for something,
No.
something that's won a prestigious prize like that. So yeah, Photoshop that on if you can, a sash.
And there'll be a
onto it.
prize for the best Photoshop job.
Yeah, the Photoshop that you do, we'll put it on a t-shirt, put Calculate Drivel logo on and send it to you.
Yeah, what with the picture
With
of the
the
fish.
picture that
Yeah,
they've done.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's an interesting one. Actually, a bat's won Bird of the Year. Was it quite a sort of bird? Did it have bird-like features?
No,
this
it looks like a bat.
Just looked like a bat.
Standard fluffy bat. Bats are actually quite cute. I don't know if you've ever seen like. The
Yeah,
small
my
ones.
mum, a little pipistrelle bat
Yeah,
once. My mum sort of helped nurse one back to health when I was younger. It kind of landed because it had the crash landing in our garden, and
There's a
then
crate.
yeah, it's this huge explosion out the window. We were like, "Oh, what the hell's that?" There was just a bat on the floor. But yeah, the way she fed it, my mum fed it water was have a paintbrush, a small paintbrush, and you dip that in the water and then hold that, and it would just and then put it in a shoebox because they like it to be dark space and they love shoes, and then put that in the airing cupboard just because it's a dry sort of heat, which is what they like. Don't leave them there too long.
And then what happened?
It recovered. Yeah, it kind of was there for a couple of days, nursed it back to health.
No, well, it just left.
Yeah, then just crashed again.
Did it ever come back?
No, we didn't see it again.
Oh.
So that was a pipistrelle bat, which was nice. But then once we were in France on a holiday in the summer, and this big like vampire bat flew into the place we were staying.
Like a fruit bat.
A fruit bat, and that was absolutely rank.
Yeah.
And quite intimidating as
That's
well, having it
scary.
flapping around. Imagine if you had a bat flying around in here, you wouldn't be relaxed, would you?
Imagine. No, definitely not. It'd be really distracting as well recording this.
Yeah.
Talking of, you've got to go soon, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna charge my phone for a bit. I'll probably leave in about 10 minutes. So I think we could end on that, couldn't we?
Go, but Mark's leaving to get his first tattoo.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Next time people see me on the show, I will have a tattoo. So
Do your parents know about it?
no,
Secret? You gonna
yeah,
tell them?
they'll just see it at some point.
When you're first the oat milk, now this.
Yeah, what next?
What next?
Or a tattoo of an oat milk bottle.
Oh, imagine. If you want to know what we're talking about, listen to the bonus podcast.
Yeah, listen to and that's for the Patreon subscribers who pay us a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they get what they pay for.
I mean, it's not. Just so you can.
It is free, yeah. We don't make any money from this yet.
Unless anyone wants to send us some money.
Yeah.
Send it to the PA box.
Yeah, if anyone's listening and fancies sending us some cash, Matt can send you his details and we can get that transferred over to us.
Coins.
Big checks we quite like as well.
Novelty
size
checks.
checks. But yeah, thank you for listening. Welcome back to Calculated Drivel.
Yes. Hopefully we're going to do some more live records.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I feel like it's so much nicer when we're not accidentally talking over each other all the time
Yeah.
because of the delay.
Yeah, the delay's a bit difficult with Zoom, and just like it's nice not to be sat in a room by myself on a computer.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
this puppy's on us. Thanks a lot, and
Thanks.
we'll
I
see you soon.
officially sign off by unplugging this.
There you go.
Well, it's been hot.